Thing is, they balance the low-level mobs experience for solo experience gain. Okay, but like I spent at least 2 hours as solo Vaughn. And I wasn't getting crazy amounts of experience. And it was taking way too long to get levels and things like that. Granted, I wasn't putting, a crazy amount of effort into grinding because I didn't really want to grind, but I think I grinded out from like 2 to 4, and it was pretty slow. It was unbelievably slow. Destia is Undia? You just Phoenix down it, and it dies instantly. You gain like 10 levels the first time you do it. Okay, but like, how am I supposed to know that? I'm just supposed to waste a Phoenix down on a random enemy? I'm supposed to know that I can cast a Phoenix down on a random enemy, and that Phoenix down is going to kill them. Like it's a little crazy to show up here and just be like, why didn't you know how to do this? And why aren't you this level because you didn't know how to do this? Like, that's insane. Where am I going and what am I doing? Okay. Go this way. My level looks consistent to yours when you first played. This is not the way I want to go. Without knowing specific grinding methods from guides and such, it's pretty slow. Yeah, I felt it was unbelievably slow. Just figure it out yourself. You gotta have some great knowledge to figure that stuff out yourself. I mean, you have to go in with the mindset too that I'm going to grind and I'm getting triple experience when you don't even have any party members to know if you're getting triple experience. It's a very specific mindset. If I ever played any Final Fantasy games, pretty much every one of them has undead enemies that die to healing and revive. But like, I've played, not beaten, but I've played my fair share of Final Fantasy games. And I can tell you that there is one instance that I know of where casting Phoenix Downs on enemies is, or undead, I should specify, is very, very big, huge, like instant kill, super big damage, whatever. But I had a PlayStation 2 for all of probably like 3 weeks, and I think I used that PlayStation 3 to play the Kingdom Hearts games, and then it broke. And every other time I got to play a PlayStation 2 game was at my dad's house. And You know, that was very sporadic. So, and you know, that was me as a younger kid. What kid out there is going to remember that stuff? I don't know. I don't know. This is the 12th installment of the series. I started with 7. I played a very large portion of 7. I played a solid chunk of 10. And I played 12. Where's my where's my series knowledge there? Oh, I'm turning to stone. Some people don't even find Destia on a playthrough. I don't even recall any Destia when I was running around. Apparently I'm supposed to go over there. Oh, wait. No, there's nobody here in the jungle. Why would we have to go over there? Oh, I see. Everyone can find the werewolf, though, and the wind dagger. Scan shows they're weak to wind. Okay, but I didn't find it. I don't think I saw any werewolves. I don't even think I would even think that werewolves are undead. Like, if werewolves in this game are undead, I certainly would not make that assumption. Think you're putting your own expectations and understanding on other people? Can't expect everyone to approach the same game or same way you would. I don't think Kylor is necessarily doing that. At least not 100%. But me knowing Kylor or Kylor, I feel like Kylor is very, very knowledgeable of a lot of the games that he plays, and you know, certainly has the memory capacity to remember all the intricate details and things like that to do all the cool stuff. I just don't have that.
What is it?
The jungle denies us our passage.
What have we done?
We? No. I.
What's that mean? How are we supposed to get through that?
Making an appearance?
Come on, I'm talking over here.
I thought you'd left for good.
Hey!
Our choices are few.
Friend? Balthier!
This is as much for you as it is me.
Oh?
You are ill at ease. The Nethicite troubles you. You've let your eyes betray your heart.
Right.
What are you doing?
Soon you will learn.
Whoa.
We go to seek aid of the Viera who dwell ahead.
I bet they'll be glad to see you after so long.
I am unwelcome, an unsought guest in their wood.
Okay.
In the village ahead, you will find her, Nyearn. Bring her to me. She will know why you call her.
You don't kill werewolves with Phoenix Down. That was just Destia. Werewolves are like level 28 or something. You can one shot them if you use Wind Element with your Quickenings. See, but the issue here is let me frame this differently. I don't approach every game that I play and decide, you know what, I'm going to experiment the crap out of this game. And I'm going to grind and I'm going to do all this stuff. And while I'm doing all of these things, I'm going to be streaming it. There's not a lot of incentive to stream that way. It's not, doesn't sound very fun, and it doesn't sound all too enjoyable to watch either. So like, I was at the beginning of the game and I thought to myself, you know, I could totally grind, and I fought more enemies than I probably should have. And I reached the conclusion that this is, you know, a considerable waste of my time. And so I decided to not do it. There were so many things at the very beginning of the game that I just didn't know what was going on or how it interacted with things. My bot is totally destroying itself right now. And I think it's just kind of very easy to get overwhelmed by this stuff. So like, I wasn't trying to do all kinds of crazy experimentation, which, you know, could have been a lot of fun to do, but running around and exploring and stuff like that at the very beginning of the game as Vaughn, which is by far the most least interesting part of the game because nothing is going on and you're just some suckafoo street rat that, you know, is killing wolves out and stuff like that. Like, you really have to go out of your way to go find that stuff. And once you do go out of your way to go find that stuff, you're kind of just stuck there, and you take the chance that, you know, you're gonna waste one of your 3 or 4 Phoenix Downs on this one enemy, and you're gonna hope that something good comes out of it. I don't know. That's not really how I approach playing games casually. There may be situations where I'm like, ooh, you know, maybe I want to try this against this enemy, but I won't, like, I will go all the way back to save, and then I'll go all the way back to the enemy and then try it if it doesn't work. And that does not create an enjoyable experience. And on top of that, I probably just wouldn't want to do that anyways. Most of the time, you know? Where's the fun in that? I need to equip you with the whatchamacallit now. I think we're gonna go with magic potency. I don't know if I necessarily care about that magic potency, but we're going to give you that. So Curaga is in the shop. And it's actually not as expensive as I thought it was going to be. Which is cool. Oh, that increases your strength by a ton. Oh, but your HP goes down. But your strength goes up by a ton. Oh my gosh. I got 48 strength. Now let's save. I gotta beat Final Fantasy XII. Hey, Noah the Otter, formerly known as Epic Otter, formerly known as Extra Epic Otter. Destia is not always at the same point at all times. You've seen people... Wait, hold on a second. So, there's effectively a... what we could potentially call a specific trigger mob, or a rare mob, that is needed / necessary / useful in gaining tons of levels. And you're asking me how I didn't find this mob and then use a Phoenix down on it and gain 10 plus levels off of it? Come on, Kylor. It's not a reasonable thing to ask somebody casually playing a game. Didn't say I gotta use Destia. Well, how do you get the Wind Dagger? You know, how do you get the Wind Dagger and then equip the dagger and go fight level 28s? Or you would have to grind. You would have to grind to get a specific quickening that you said has wind element or something like that on it. How do you know which area to go to use that quickening? How do you even know what a quickening does? Why would you even pick up the quickening? You know, like, you can't see anything here. You're just gonna go like, oh, you know what? This says quickening. I'm gonna go all the way over there, pick that up, and it's gonna help me against this wolf guy. Like, there's something is missing from your assessment here. I'm not gonna say it's impossible, because I don't know. Like I said, you have the memory capacity and the knowledge and all other crazy stuff that I definitely don't have, and you have illustrated that on multiple occasions. But it is very, very difficult to believe that someone just goes into a game that they've never played before and they stumble upon the correct sequence and the correct actions and then go in the proper locations to find the answers that they need to solve the immediate problem of, I want to grind as quickly as possible, and they use all of that knowledge in the proper way. It's so difficult and so unlikely that all of those scenarios will play out exactly as you want it to when you're playing a game for the very first time. And, you know, like Brispet's bed, like I said, it's not impossible. It can certainly happen. But the probability of that happening is pretty insane.
Hey, Mjorn lives here, doesn't she? We're here to see her.
You will leave at once. It is not allowed for humans to walk on these grounds.
We'll go as soon as we've seen Mjorn.
If you can find her.
We're not leaving until you let us see her. Fine then. We'll look for her ourselves.
Ah.
I've heard the voice of the wood. She says Mjorn is not in the village. Jote, where has she gone?
Why do you ask? The wood tells us where she has gone. Or can you not hear her? You cannot. Your ears are dull from hearing their harsh speech, I think. Viera who have abandoned the wood are Viera no longer. Mjorn too has left her embrace.
And you forsake them in turn?
It is the will of the village. Viera must live always with the wood. So is the green word, and so is our law.
We'll let you worry about keeping your laws. Just do us a favor and stay out of our way. We'll find her ourselves.
Our sister has left the wood and gone west. She wanders warrens among men who hide themselves in clothes of cold iron. Thus to me has the wood spoken.
The Viera may begin as part of the wood, but the wood is not the only end we may choose.
The same words I heard 50 years ago.
Oh, also to answer your question, Noah the otter, it's gonna be some getting used to call you that. I'm doing fine. No, all good in the hood. Had my tacos yesterday. Man, the carne asada tacos yesterday were probably the best carne asada tacos that I've had at that particular Taco Tuesday place. Very, very, very pleased with them. You also said something else. Been a long ride getting to this point in your streaming journey, but you think the name changes have been effective of that, or reflective of that. Feel like as Noah the Otter, you're being much more open with your community, and you're a much better headspace overall. That's good to hear. I saw Kylor say something that I wanted to respond to. Y'all act like the people who write game facts didn't figure the things out on their own. I don't write game facts, so I can't speak to this definitively. But I feel like game fact writing is as much of a solo effort as it is a community effort. You know, you could do it all yourself, but you know, there's things that you pick up by talking to other people and interacting with your friends and other people playing the game. And for Game Facts itself, asking questions like, hey, you know, I'm trying to get this, I'm trying to do this, can you help me out with that? And then they collect all this information and they source it all into one specific place. But also, if you're writing a game fact, you're approaching the game in a completely different way that's not casual. I cannot play this game the way I have and write a game fact on it. And that's because, what did I even do? You know? How do I sequence things in the order that I've done it, and then say that this is the definitive way to do that, or this is the proper way to do it, or this is what triggers that? You have to go into it with like I don't want to say a game tester mentality, but like, you sometimes have to approach scenarios in those types of situations. You have to try things out, and you have to retry things out. You have to go in with specific objectives that may be counterintuitive to what the game is pushing you towards. And I think that a casual playthrough is not exactly the antithesis of that, but it's the antithesis of that.
Not bad, Vaughn. Didn't think we'd get any information out of that one. So then, what was she saying about men in a warren?
The Henna-Magicite mines. Maybe that's what she meant. They lie in Bangkor, south of the Osmoan Plain. The entire region is a colony of the Arcadian Empire. There would be soldiers.
Is that a problem? Let's move.
Fran,
Yes?
I was wondering what Yote said, you know? About how you said the same thing 50 years ago?
Your point?
How old were you again?
Nice fun.
Surprisingly rude.
Try to grow up, please.
Oh, I want to talk about that, but I hate that part. Or not like that part, but I hate scenarios like that. It's like, you can't ask a woman what her age is. You know, it's just like, what's the problem? And then on top of that, Fran is a Viera, and so they don't have the same disgust and hatred for that kind of stuff as Humes, for example. And so it's just so unbelievably silly to me. But Kylor says, I don't play games casual. That's why you love Final Fantasy 11 and 14. Or and hate 14. Well, there you go. That has been, like, I've been trying to narrow down what the missing thing is for, you know, like why you had your statement, and I guess why it was so charged. And that's because we just we approach games in a different way. Granted, you know, I still go out of my way to try silly things and things like that, but I also look at things from a streamer mentality as well. There's a clip of me playing. Matter of fact, let me just find. I'm gonna find the clip. You probably won't be able to hear it, but whatever. Let's see. What is it called? Like, oh yeah, I see it. Let's see. I'm assuming, oh, you guys can't actually see that. Monitor capture. There we go. Here's a clip of me playing a game called Le Grand Legacy. And this part happens. And that random thing happens. And I'm like, oh, that is so cool. So, you know, I go back down and I try to replicate it. And those kind of things, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna spend some time doing on this because this is cool. But me going around trying items on random enemies and doing various random things, exploring various other scenarios of how things will play out, like, it's so unbelievably unlikely that I will engage in that stuff. Not because it's not interesting to me, but because, like, what's the point sometimes? Sometimes you're not going to find anything. You just spent 3 hours working on that, you know? And then plus I'm streaming that. Who wants to watch that garbage? I don't want to watch that garbage. I gotta go back and rewatch this stuff. There's one more. I can't find it. Oh, that's because it's not in here. It's not in here. Oh, it's because... Yeah. Well, there's one more for another game that I played. You know what? I'll just show this one. No, actually... I'll show another one. Cover that, yeah. Okay. This was me playing Ni no Kuni 2. And I was like, I see something in the monitor over here. And it's so weird. And so I'm going through this and I'm looking at it. And I see that the plane here is not quite lining up against the thing, and I just spend like all this time looking at them, and I go and look at all the monitors and I try to figure that stuff out. Like that stuff is what piques my interest a lot. But that stuff also doesn't take a lot of time and experimentation and effort to figure out, you know? It's just like, oh, I noticed something or I stumbled upon something and let me do that. But I guarantee you that the majority of the people that played those games probably never noticed that stuff. And that's what correlates to the situations that we're both in. It's like I play the games casually, but there are some circumstances where I'll notice things or stumble upon something, and that will send me down the path. But you know, the chances of somebody doing that is so unlikely. And so for me to approach somebody and say, I can't believe you didn't or like, I want to word this differently, but I can't believe you didn't notice this and use that to your advantage. if it could be used to your advantage, is just kind of crazy to me, I guess, because it's, you know, from my point of view, it's like, how was I supposed to know that? I'm supposed to grind so that I could buy everything in the shop. You know, everything in the shop was so freaking expensive, and I was getting no money. There was no value in me doing that whatsoever. But anyways, I need a mark. And then get rid of that.